things, and I do apologize for not, coming back that one night. Yeah, let's just say the past few days have been a little bit unnecessarily difficult because of a certain dim-witted person. Well, whatever, it's life, and onward and upward, I suppose. But anyway, so just like the last one that I watched, I didn't go all the way through with it. I'm doing another reaction to the same person. Hi, kid. Yeah, hi, Kayla. And this one's actually called, and I didn't put the actual name of this video in the script, like the title, because yeah, it would probably more likely get demonetized. And I'm like, oh, I'm doing work, so I kind of want to get paid for it. So yeah. And I'm going to be doing this in case if you want to watch in the background, or just like what happened last time, if it wasn't too loud enough. But here, let me just click magical things all over the place. The heck is this? Oh. I saw something that I thought was not what needed to be there. So let me just do this. Get that. The heck, dude? Oy, oy, oy. Okay. Hello, Kelly. I'm just gonna have this pop out. Okay, I'm gonna tell this to get out of my life. I'm gonna tell this to do that. Tell this to do this. Dang it. And we click over here. No, wait, that's the wrong one. I just opened the same thing twice. Oh god, not that dog. I'm gonna bark at everything that lives. Okay. Okay. I don't care, so let me just do this. Let me click that, so hopefully that's the right one. I'm gonna double check just to be sure. Yep, that's the right one. So anyway, the video, there it goes finally, 3 years later. Just so that way everybody knows. The video that I'm reacting to is really called Hell When You Hail Satan. And this is, and I'm reacting from a viewpoint that's actually been on the Lieutenant Band side and actually studied a little bit into spiritual Satanism, but also got dismissed by Satanas saying it wasn't my path. So I'm coming from a viewpoint that is intending to be strictly neutral, like it is what it is, and leaving it at that. And I'm just gonna be point blank how it is. Not favoring either side, but just trying to diffuse any kind of BS or no clarity. But let's begin this shenanigan. And if you're on my Facebook, like my own personal one, or on my Instagram, you'd probably remember the part where she was all, "Oh, you're like a pimp, huh, Lilith? Off with her head!" I'm expecting to do that a lot, so let's begin.
I don't care what you believe Satanism is. When you listen to demons, when you go to hell, there is no love.
Killing me, dude. Well, and this is a 39 long video, so I'm gonna try and, give longer breaks.
It's all a nightmare.
And, well, again, somebody's nightmare might be somebody's pleasant dream. You never know. Well, apparently the content creator, I send it to you. I'm not going to say the name because it's just like, I'm not really in one. From the moment I began creating this message for the world to see, I kept seeing the number 666 constantly. Well, when you add the number, when you actually break that down into a number, 1, 6, 12, 18. Break it down some more. 1 plus 8, 9. 9 is the number of nearing completion. The finishing of something, and it starts back to 0, or 10, back to 1. Besides, 6 is also the most positive number because it gets along with all the other numbers. It's the mother, it's the divine mother number.
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Will Lyons. I'm a psychic medium, a near-death experiencer, and a demonologist. Today we're going to be talking about a video review based on a documentary called Hail Satan. But it had a question mark. Why? It's because we are wondering, should we? Is that a good idea? Is this something that we should consider? Is it really as misunderstood as a lot of the Satanists and demonology practitioners believe?
They don't believe, well, I mean, honestly, somebody who practices Satanism, they really don't give a damn what you have to think about it, to be honest. And demonology, it's the same thing as being a demonologist. I know, because Kendra's actually has studied demonology. She's a practicing theistic Satanist, so that kind of goes, yeah. But she does it in the way that's respectful, not the way that, or like draw the circles and do all the, you're going to be doing this, and like commanding them into squares and just being like Solomonic. No, that's BS.
No. Real quick, if you guys like my sweater, Demon Dealer in the shop section. But this documentary is definitely interesting. It was actually quite intriguing. I'm not going to lie. As a psychic medium, as a demonologist, as a person that has really, really seen the harsh realities of demons, and then to see people basically dressing up like Halloween every day.
The harsh, yeah. But to be completely honest, the harsh reality of hell here, and actually I'll be using as a point of reference Dante's like the Divine Comedy, Inferno, Paradiso, and Purgatorium, and I'm also be taking in what they believe over in India. Well, because it's just like, really. And also Mika, I do actually, hold up. I want to give you that Mika, and I also want to give you this, Kelly, while I'm thinking about it. Yeah, you got your mod powers, because I feel you both deserve them. So anyway. Essentially this. In India, there's 3 types of beings. The Deva, divine, the Asuras, which are people, but they're also known as demons, and then the Rakshas, which are malefic beings that take on human form as a mask. Purgatorium is a human or person in the middle, neutral, can go either way. The Asuras, demons, we're on hell. This is where the Asuras are. People. The people in the Asuras are trying to get up to where the Devas are at. They're trying to rise up to where the Devas are at. And pretty much all the Deva is the feeling of fulfillment and getting desires met. And above, where the Devas are, the divine, or Paradiso, the Asuras are trying to get there. The Rakshas are trying to be causing damage and actually taking the Asuras away from it. And pleasure and enjoyment of the 3D world is ruled by Venus and Shukracharya, or the guru of them is trying to help them get up there to the Devas and the divine. So, just for clarity, so.
It's very hard to take you seriously. Oh.
Well, you know what else? Even though this is very difficult to take seriously, sweetie. Oh, I never heard of, calling a divine being a pimp. You think she walks with a pimp cane? You think her name's Slickback? Wow. Didn't know Adam reincarnated into a woman.
Okay, so let's be real. I've seen the documentary. If you have not seen the documentary, there's going to be some spoilers in this. If you haven't seen it, you don't want any spoilers,
Who
then
cares?
stop this video now and then go see the video and then come back to this. Should we hail Satan?
Now let's see. What do you think? Should we? And this is all opinion based. Everybody has the right to their own viewpoint, as long as it's mindful and respectful and sharing your viewpoint in a point that's not being baneful, malefic. Because to me, I see it like this. Satanas has invested in me by going down his path and what he's given me. So I think I don't get a choice. I should. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. So I say yes. That's just me. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. And that's being realistic. Play, you dimwit.
That's the first question everyone probably wants to know, even if you've never seen me before. By the way, if you've never seen me before, welcome. If you've seen me before, hi, welcome back. The question is, should we hail Satan? Is Satanism, is Satan a misunderstood?
Yes, it is. And it's actually an established religion. Just like all the other faiths in the United States, it's protected by the Constitution, the right to have your own belief and practice your belief without the government interference and to be actually acknowledged for your belief and respected for it. No ifs, ands, buts, or tushies. So Minja can really... Yeah, but actually, to be completely honest, and that's actually a really interesting point, because in all honesty, sin is a virus. To be honest, every human being that's been on this earth, including Christ, because he came from a mother who was infected with it, every person that's on this earth has been infected with it. Yeah, it's a reflection, and I mean, I'm taking it and I'm actually taking it into account too. Although, sin, a virus that was afflicted to Adam and Eve, every human has it. So really, technically, everybody is infected. Even God himself technically is infected. Because when there's a mandation of Lilith be submissive and allow herself to be violated, that's edification of somebody being violated, which is pushing and trying to have the person's well-being and the person standing be overrun and disregarded. And pushing and having someone be ignored and ignoring somebody and just having them be submissive for somebody else's pleasure, that's not really good. That's kind of sinful. It's like you're pushing for something bad to happen, so you're kind of like committing it too. That's just how it is. So I mean, I look at it as like everything's infected with it, but nonetheless, good point though.
No, absolutely not. So here's where I get very serious real quick, is Satan does exist. I've met Satan. Not an experience you wish you really ever had. Satan is very, very dangerous.
He's also very infused with the Saturnian energy. So he's quite heavy. Not heavy as in like waist heavy, but like his energy is like heavy. You know when he comes around. Because he's realistic, practical, and is giving harsh realities. He essentially is the one that is dark. He's dark. also known as the adversary. But now, adversary doesn't mean enemy, because look at it this way: an adversary is something that is adverse you. But because something's adverse against you, or competing against you, or is in opposition to you, that doesn't mean it has to be baneful, intentionally baneful towards you. Because who can be opposing you and is somebody that's actually a good influence on you? Your teachers, your family, your lover. And really, an adversary can be somebody who challenges you and to test you, to see if you have grown how you need to grow, or face challenges that you need to be facing, to see if you are ready to progress to something else, or to see how far you've come. And if you're not ready, you go back. Only an adversary can do that, and an adversary is like an opponent, but not all opponents are malefically driven. Sometimes you have to compete against somebody that's a friend of yours. That's an opponent. You have to compete. It all comes down to what the main intention is. Satanas is point blank. He gives the reality of something. My best example: the part in the Bible where Christ was walking in the desert for 40 days, 40 nights, fasting, no food, no water, still walking in the desert. Satanas approached him and pretty much was, the way that it's written, it was like saying that he was trying to bribe Christ to go to the kingdom and gain all of that wealth and all those kingdoms. But on the hidden message of that, Satanas was saying, why are you doing this to yourself? You're pushing yourself to the brink of death. Go over here to this kingdom and get your needs met. Because when you don't have any food, you don't have any water in your system, you're going to die. And when you're dead, it don't matter. Once you're out, you're out. And when you're on this earth, you're supposed to enjoy it, not suffer. But also Christ was staying focused on the route he wanted to go. It is what it is. But the deeper message is that Satanas is bringing the reality. You're killing yourself. You haven't eaten or drinking in 40 days. You're in the desert. You're going to fall over and die because you're going to dehydrate. Go get your needs met. That's being realistic and practical. Because if you're not well, it doesn't matter what the world around you is. You're down, you're dying, you're out. Until you get back up and get your needs met.
Extremely volatile, extremely aggressive.
I wouldn't say aggressive, it's just that he tells you how it is and doesn't care how hurt you get. Because it takes real care and consideration to actually hurt someone you love than to actually allow them to do continuously stupid things, getting themselves in more trouble or put them in a worse situation.
Extremely dangerous, extremely negative on so many levels. He's beyond the worst entity you probably will ever encounter.
Yeah, like
And I
what?
pray you never do.
Well, hey, at least Satanas didn't advocate for love to be violated. I didn't say anything.
And this is not saying as a person who's religious, I'm not religious. I used to be religious, very much, and then when I had my near-death experience at 18, I'm 33 now, I went to heaven, I saw the other side, I met Jesus Christ, and he explained to me that the Bible is not entirely true. And if you want to learn more about my NDE, you can just there, and you can watch All Triggering, listening to these people talk about how Satan is a misunderstood entity.
Yes, and if you actually approach him in a way that's open, and allowing him to come towards you the way that he is, without any agenda or anything attaching to you, you'll be quite surprised that he's actually one of the best ones to actually get guidance from, and like point blank reality of the situation you're needing help with. He's heavy, point blank, and gives you the reality of everything. He doesn't sugarcoat. He tells you this is how it is, how are you going to deal with it. What are you going to do? Do you think that's going to be successful? Is that really going to make you gain? Why do you want to go about it this way? How come this way is more appealing than this way? What do you think? That's how he interacts with you. He pulls you down and gets your mind out and helps you detangle everything and give you all these avenues. Why do you want to go like this? How come you want this? How come this way? Well, why don't you want to go about it this way? He makes your brain work. When you have the brain and the clarity work, you can make the best choice. And he doesn't give answers in the way that you think he does, like saying, don't do that. He says, do you think that's the best idea? If you think so, why is that? Will that make you gain the most? Will that make you lose the most? Why do you think that's going to make you lose? That's how he works.
But more so that they don't really believe in a literal hell, that they actually believe that, and this is where it gets different, is there's different levels of Satanism. There's different kinds, and each person, this is the interesting aspect, is a lot of people that do worship Satanism, they will
Worship Satanism, you mean?
say they don't believe in a literal Satan. They don't believe.
It depends on what kind of Satanism you're going down. Spiritual Satanism, theistic, like the atheist one that sees Satan as a not as an entity but a way of living. It all depends on the individual. There's no real set in stone. But still, Anton LaVey, he's the founder of it.
Believe in a literal hell. But when you look into the entire documentary, or you look into the people that you encounter that do worship these kinds of beings, you will notice right away that they do worship that entity specifically.
Mm-hmm. So what?
So their actions do not meet with their words at all. Demonologists, as a person who has seen demons physically,
So have I. And I interact with them still. I'm fine.
I've seen them physically manifest in my home, in my surroundings and locations. I've seen them on astral realm experiences. I've seen them in hell. And why I was in hell, that is my business right now. But
Why was I in hell? Well, that's my business. Well, probably weren't there.
I will share that eventually. But I'm not comfortable really talking about that. There was one instance where I did summon King Payment.
Oh, good. Another video to watch.
And when I did that, it was a very regrettable situation. But I did that at the same time. I don't regret it, and I do because I went through a lot of pain, a lot of trauma. But at the same time, I learned invaluable lessons that
You learned invaluable, so lessons that didn't teach you anything?
changes you for the rest of your existence. Your soul existence will never be the same. Understanding this is hell is a literal place.
So is this. Alright, let me grab it real quick. Wanna know who else? Wanna know what else is also named Hell? There you go. There is Hell for you. Funny enough. But her name is spelled H-E-L. Yeah, there's Hell. The Norse goddess of the underworld. Even though the real realm's name is called Helheim. And there's also Niflheim.
So it is real. There is no metaphysical or metaphorical idea. It's a literal sense, it's a literal place. It is a actual realm. When I was religious, of course I used to believe that too, but I didn't really want to believe in hell. When I look back in my years, I really didn't want to believe in hell ever. Deep down, I never wanted to believe that. I never wanted to believe for a second that a God would damn people to such a horrible place.
Oh yeah, because I mean, look at it this way. If you love your creations and if you love something, why are you going to turn your back on it? If you really love something you created, You wouldn't have to bribe them with paradise. You would still accept them no matter what. You wouldn't cast them out. You would realize, oh, I made a mistake, so what? They don't need to be casted out or made to suffer because of a whoopsie.
The truth is, the good news is that's not true at all. The Bible is not entirely true in that aspect, which is very good news. No soul is ever damned to hell.
So, no soul is damned to hell. So then why are you saying hell is a bad place then?
So in Satanism, I can understand why a lot of people, when they didn't like the Bible,
Well, not all people that go to Satanism, they don't always have the Bible as a reference point to rebel against. Not all of them.
they would resort immediately to Satanism.
What? If they didn't like the Bible, they would go straight to Satanism? I'm not one of them.
And I thought that's an extreme aspect to suddenly go from not liking the Bible to, okay, I'm going to immediately rebel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the ideological idea of Satanism is the rebellion.
No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I've met a Satanist.
So have I. I know quite a few. Best people I've met. Absolutely the best people I've met. In fact, if it wasn't for one of them, Kendra, I wouldn't be doing this right now. I wouldn't have my Lilith book. I wouldn't have a lot of stuff if it wasn't for her. So,
Before several people, and they're all good people.
so then why are you swinging at their faith and, taking a swing at them then?
I mean, hell, I almost dated
That was funny, I'm sorry.
a Satanist.
So, why are you swinging at their faith and then you're saying, oh, I almost dated one?
I figured out very quickly, however, was this person would even have a demon attached to him.
Not all Satanists work with Lieutenant Divines. Or demons. Not all of them do. But theistic, yes.
My rib would start attacking me.
I wonder why. Probably because maybe the Lieutenant Divine was all like, no, dude. Get away with it. Sometimes they are protective like that.
And because he was in denial of it,
I don't believe that.
this man was in total denial of this demon and said that I was hallucinating, that I wasn't telling the truth, and that it would never harm me, even though I know what I experienced was not something that could be hallucinated because I don't hallucinate.
Well, when you call Lilith a pimp, I think that's not the best.
I knew it was real because I was pulled out of my bed. It was horrifying. But thankfully, Archangel Michael rescued me from that experience and they took that entity out. I even tried to understand a Satanist. And even in the documentary, okay, we're still talking about the documentary, but I want you to understand that I'm not giving my review of Satanism.
You don't need to give a review of somebody's faith. Thank you very much. You don't need to do that because it's not yours.
Based on just, oh, my shallow-sided opinion. I have seen Satanism at its worst.
You have.
I've seen it at its best, and I've also...
At its best? It hasn't been at its best because people are still disrespecting it. You want to know when it's at its best? When people actually start treating the Satanists with respect and actually acknowledging their faith, because it is supposed to be. And not actually calling things like satanic ritual abuse. No. No. Ritual abuse, satanic, is not even supposed to be in there because describing a crime with a religion That's like saying Islamic religious abuse. That's not going to go over well. So satanic ritual abuse, no, that's not good either. You can't put that in there because that's what's that called? It's like being afraid of somebody's religion. That's the same thing. You can't do that. It's kind of discriminatory.
Seen it in the middle, where there's a lot of things, a lot of gray areas that should be explained and should be understood. I actually wrote a huge list right here. I wrote pages and pages of a list of Satanism and all these things that were about the video of the documentary. And to be honest, I decided I'm not going to listen to that whole list.
So you just wrote that whole list for nothing. Let me just do an instant replay of exactly what you just did.
I'm going to just tell you what I know about Satanism.
Okay.
As a person who has experienced Satanism
You haven't, in a way that's neutral.
from a personal, literal sense, as a demonologist,
Being a demonologist really doesn't have anything to do if you actually really wanted to approach and study and invest in Satanism. It doesn't, unless you're going down the pathway of theistic Satanism. Then yes, it can add some help to that.
and as a person who has been tormented by demons
Many? Okay.
in the literal sense. And you can take what I say or you don't have to. And I know my whole video is going to be flooded with I'm evil and Satan's the best. And I know a lot of people are going to suddenly flood my whole thing about that. You know what? Go for it, because that's all that hate is just more comments for me, and that builds my algorithm for my video.
But still, at the same time, you're also downplaying some other people's belief, which is not the best.
But in real sense, in reality, though, I have a divine personal responsibility as a psychic medium.
Responsibility, huh? Divine responsibility? Well, okay.
As a demonologist, to tell you the truth
Well, I never heard of anybody calling Lilith a pimp.
about what is prevalent and what is important to understand.
Number one, Lilith is not a pimp. Number two,
Demons are not a metaphorical thing. Satan is not a metaphorical being. It's not expression. He's not an idea.
depends what kind of Satanism it is. This is precisely why Satanism has so many sects to it, like certain umbrella terms and certain ones that fall under so many others. At the core, it all comes down to the individual and how they practice between them and Satanas the figure or Lucifer themselves. It strictly depends on the individual. Can there be other groups of people together believing in the same way? Absolutely. But at the core, it's the individual first. And how they view and practice, it's all up to them. Nobody else can influence that.
That represents this idea. He is an actual physical entity.
One viewpoint, yes. Another viewpoint, no. Depends, again, on the individual.
And the truth is, when I met Satan, and I didn't. I just realized now I know why Archangel Michael's here.
Oh boy, she has pigeon men.
I will tell you what I saw when I saw Satan. I was actually waiting on making this a special thing for a specific video on Satan, but you know
he probably was too heavy for you to handle.
And a lot of Satanists refuse to acknowledge his malevolence.
Satanas is not intentionally malefic. Telling the truth, point blank, as it is, and if it hurts feelings, that's not being malefic. The truth is neutral, because it is what it is. It's not good or bad. That's what it is. And how you take it, good or bad, it's on the person receiving it. The person bringing the reality, they're just giving it to you. They're neutral. And how you respond and go about it depends on you. If does it hurt? Well, the truth hurts sometimes. It doesn't hurt? Well, the truth doesn't hurt all the time. Sometimes it can make you go to the highest happiness, to the face plants of woe.
A lot of Satanists refuse to acknowledge the reality that
Funny, she says reality, and Satanas actually brings the
Satan loves pain.
Satanas is not a masochist. He is not a masochist. No. He is not a masochist.
Satan is not kind whatsoever.
Satanas is not kind? Well, I think one thing, if he hears about you so much that if he has to hurt you to, ensure your safety and well-being, he'll do it. It takes a lot of care and concern and wanting to do the best for someone that you're willing to harm them in order to do what's best for them. Because, instead, he can choose just to be all like, oh, if they just fall over that thing and get hurt, and if I don't stop them, they're going to be in a lot of pain. I don't feel like it. I really don't care. He's not like that.
This is where it gets really hard for a lot of folks that are Satanists.
It gets hard, huh? Well, let's see here. I know pretty much 3 off the top of my head. Kendra, Mary, Amethyst, Rose. Those 3, they're doing fine. In fact, they're still living their life and they're still close to Satanas. And they're still maintaining that strong connection still. So, yeah. I don't think they're having any trouble with their faith and their connection to him at all. I don't think so.
And I will say that even when I share my experiences, I've actually helped a lot of people that were in Satanism to decide to get out of it.
Well, the thing is, that's what you're claiming, but I don't think so. Because a real person that stands in their faith, you're not going to move them. You won't move them, no matter what.
Because everything that I was saying validated their feelings, validated their own personal experiences, people all over the world.
Okay, sure.
Okay? And that's why I continue these videos, because this is important. This message is important. And I hope that even if it saves one person today, that it did its purpose. The purpose is done. Awesome.
The purpose, it's done. Pop balloon noise. Awesome. It sounded like a balloon pop up. Anyway.
This is what I experienced. When I was talking with Lucifer, it was during a time where Lucifer showed up. And it was after a moment where I was in hell and
What? Wait a minute, what? You were speaking to Lucifer? Okay. And you were in hell. Wow. I wonder what Lucifer said to you then. Well, because I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark, because why not? Let's see. Oh, hello there. What brings you here to my domain? Would you like anything? Is there anything you desire? Please tell me. Just be specific, though. I want to make sure I get it right. So what is it you desire? Something like that.
I was actually speaking with Lucifer. And Lucifer always eats an apple.
Always eating apples, huh? Really?
Pretty annoying, actually, after a while. Temptation of the fruit of knowledge.
What? You think Lucifer walks around with the tree of knowledge? holding the tree and then offering apples from it? Really? No, honey.
Da 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 da. He likes to mock it too. The fruit of knowledge. Da 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 da. He likes to mock it too, because not all of the Bible is true.
But why don't you take that little bit and then just, put it onto Lucifer?
Lucifer, a fallen angel, yes, absolutely. But when
It's actually the planet Venus, but okay.
was he kicked out of heaven by God? No.
Yeah, because actually the fall is actually it was actually taken because of the movement of Venus going behind the sun in astronomy, in astrology, being thrown out left to die. It goes behind the sun, you can't see it. Then it reemerges, reborn. Lucifer gets cast out, but vows to return again. Comes from out from behind the sun, rising again. Metaphorically showing that Lucifer gets thrown out of heaven, goes down to rescue people, and then bring them into enlightened awareness.
I do think he was by choice that he left heaven, but when I was speaking with Lucifer, I said, I've never actually seen Satan, and I still wonder sometimes. And I know a lot of you guys may think I'm absolutely nuts,
In a way, you kind of are.
but I'm one of those thick-headed people that I kind of need to see it to believe it.
You're thick-headed? Okay.
Eventually, then, in that conversation, he said, all right, let's go outside, because we were in, like, this cabin-like house.
The shack?
And then we go out, and on the porch, right outside, to my left, which is a significant sign, and I recognized that right away. To my left, there's this man, tattoos all over his arms and body, all over his body. The second I saw him, I knew it was Satan.
Are you trying to say people that have tattoos all over their body are Satanists? Not all of them.
I was very hypnotized by his magnificent presence.
I was so hypnotized by his magnificent presence. It must have been the tattoos and it must have been the buffness.
He does have incredible amount of power. It's overwhelming.
Yeah, he probably flattened you.
The second you see him, it's overwhelmingly frightening.
It's not frightening, it's just heavy. Like energy shift, heavy. Like something has changed, heavy.
That's what I think. So I knew not to step my boundaries and to be nice.
Okay. We'll go with him. Okay.
I knew that. It's not even about just fear. It's about understanding that each spirit deserves respect. When you play nice, they play nice.
Not all of them. Not all of them. Good example. Andras. Probably the most feared goetic divine out of all of them. Yeah, he's one that if you make the wrong move, that's how he is.
Now, does this mean that this makes him nice when you're nice to him?
Well, so far, I don't think he was nice to you because... No.
No. Do not ever get that message confused. These entities, even Satan, will be nice to you, and then all of a sudden, he fucking twirls around. It's
Yeah, Satanas likes to twirl. Yeah, when he... No.
starts attacking you within seconds. It's not pretty. But in the this moment when I was with him, he was calm, he was collected.
Because that's how he's naturally.
And I remember he actually almost looked physically attractive. But he almost looked like an animal, but he looked human.
He looked Cuban. Okay.
Did have boobs. But he had these claws. I'm actually wearing these in fun for, the holiday season, but I actually love them. They're really fun. He had claws in his fingers, and on his arms he had these tattoos. And these tattoos glowed. Okay?
Glowed like glow sticks. Okay.
I've never seen that with
Well, actually, that's a real thing too, by the way, having glowing tattoos. You can't actually have that happen, but it has to be like a certain light or whatever.
an entity before. This was
Whoops.
spectacular. Like, it really did blow me away. And I was in denial for a long time if that was really safe. I really was. And it's a very long story. But he did attack me,
I wonder why.
and he tried to take me back to hell. Now, the truth is, when a soul, a person living, gets taken to hell, that's how they can become possessed.
You don't be kidnapped, taken down to hell, and then brought back up again. No. You don't get taken down to hell to get possessed and they get thrown back up. No. That is not how it works. Oh, that's Russian. Привет, как дела? I mean, that is what he's still in chat because, yeah, it just says hello, but how are you?
Now, when their soul is in hell, trapped in hell, the demon will take over your body,
This isn't Grand Theft Human Vessel.
and you will no longer be a part of your body. That will be a monster.
No.
And
You'd be a monster. No.
this is why it's very important in that situation where my soul was at risk.
You can't lose it like that.
By the grace of heaven, by Archangel Michael.
So if you're disproving the biblical thing, you have to throw the whole thing out. You can't say heaven exists and then say the Bible is not true.
And other angels, they rescued me. It was definitely a moment I will never forget. It was definitely one of the most horrifyingly scary moments of my life because I knew what was in that realm.
Sure.
I've been in hell before. I've been in hell several times, twice to be exact. And the first
Twice? Okay.
time it was because of summoning payment. Now, if you're interested in that story, you can go watch it at my video about keep payment. It's the only one that I actually made, and probably the only one I will ever make. The second experience of hell, that was another story that I'm not entirely comfortable talking about.
On the first day, no, on the first field trip to hell, this is what happened. King Paimon beat the BS out of me.
I'm okay today. I'm surrounded by amazing love and support and healing, so I'm okay. But from what a lot of people say, negative things like, oh, well, you were probably in hell because you did things and you got what you deserve. When I hear people write comments, when I read that, I don't even wish hell on my worst enemy. That's saying something.
But when you disrespect somebody else's belief system, not the best.
I don't even wish hell on men that have raped me.
Okay?
I don't. I would honestly rescue them from that. I would.
You would rescue somebody that traumatized you? No.
Really would. Because no one deserves help.
That's not for you to say. If somebody caused harm to you with malefic intent, they need to have their adjudication put on them.
No one. And I'm not religious.
Why are you siding with it then? Why are you using that as a reference point? It's contradictory.
I'm not an atheist. I'm not agnostic. I'm not, a person that is into Wicca or witchcraft or whatever. It's like I'm open to all those things.
Are you sure? Because in this video, you're kind of downplaying the entire bit of Satanism. You can't be open if you're downplaying another faith or belief system. You can't be open because you're shutting one out.
But I don't identify by any of those things. Primarily, I just like to consider myself a psychic medium, a demonologist, and a light warrior, light worker. And as a light warrior, it's my paramount duty
Duty.
to signify to you what is a threat.
It's a threat to somebody, may not be a threat to them. What someone sees as friendly may not be a friendly to you. What's threatening to you may not be threatening to somebody else.
Metaphysically. And Satan absolutely is on every level imaginable and unimaginable. And
Well, probably because to you didn't respect him and you're just saying stuff out of your head.
it's not a game. So when I saw this documentary, back to the documentary, it really was triggering to see all these people.
Triggering? How is somebody else's belief system causing you to be triggered by it? And why are you letting somebody else's faith bother you to such an extent that it causes you to go into a panic? That should not even be a problem. Everybody has their own faiths. What somebody believes, that's on them. And if you're allowing somebody's belief to cause you to throw a hissy fit or get like really uncomfortable and disturbed, here's the one with the issue. Not the person who has faith.
It broke my heart.
It broke your heart having somebody have their own faith and belief system that you don't like? Well, boo-hoo. I mean, how do you think I feel sometimes? There's a lot of things I don't like in this world, but I mean, it don't matter if I throw a hissy fit or not. It's still going to be there.
To see how these people in this documentary really believed and really think and really feel that this is a good idea.
What's that supposed to mean? You mean to tell me that somebody's faith isn't a good idea, or their religious practice isn't a good idea? Here's my response. Mm-mm.
It blew me away. There's interesting in the film that I'm remembering that I want to highlight here. You cannot tell people as a Satanist that Satanism is about love and kindness.
How do you know? Have you invested in the path? You haven't. So you can't say that.
But then in your whole charade of...
Charade? Really? Tell me more.
And in the documentary, in their whole charade...
Charade? Tell me more, please.
They're talking about sex and blood and, harm.
Here's the thing. Pleasure is not bad. Having lack of self-control is. Enjoying desire and enjoying the physical senses. Enjoyment is enjoyment. It's not malefic. If somebody consents, it's not malefic. And blood? Blood rights are in it, yes, but that comes down to each person. For as long as I've even done packs, I never shed any of my blood. And even if I do any kind of blood work that was back then, or even up to this point, I actually have to use like a bandage from like a wound I had that was not self-inflicted. I have to use that as an offering. Because I cannot harm myself to give blood. I can't do it.
Self-harm. And
Self-harm, really? You think Satanism advocates for self-harm? That's not self-harm. By the self-harm that, she's trying to push is like actually self-inflicting a pain on yourself that causes immense damage. Blood offering, simple. You give the lancet, prick finger, just like that.
all these other things. Strangulation.
Strangulation? No. No.
And wearing black and red.
Apparently, if you wear black and red, oh god, God forbid, it's black and red. The colors of Count Dracula.
And I like black. I'm not against black. I love black. Think about it. Priests wear black all the time. And
Sheesh.
yet they have this one little white collar. But that's because
They have a black robe and a white collar. That's a Catholic. That's a brother. Or, even father. That's what the uniform is.
because they're being the light in the darkness.
No.
Yes, I believe that's the significance to it. And that's primarily, even with nuns, they always wear black. Black is not evil.
Am I saying it's a bad thing?
It's to represent darkness, and then you to be the light of darkness. To try to tell people that Satanism is based on the rebellion of the
No, it's not.
dogma of religion, and they even try to whirl in politics.
No.
That
Now, the Church of Satan, and there are some groups within Satanism that do have a lot of political push. Some do. But at the core, no, that's not the intention.
was kind of comical to me
Comical? You think somebody's faith's comical? Okay.
because a lot of it had nothing to do with politics. Satanism is all about the worship of Baphomet.
No. Dimwit. Satanism. At the core, again, I'll say it again, it all depends on the person and how they practice. It all depends on the person. That's it. Each person's different. Theistic, spiritual. It's all different.
Then they started trying to teach this to kids in schools.
Okay?
And I think that, personally, as a mother, I would be furious over.
Okay, which ones?
Because that is where you're trying to put religion into schools.
And what about, trying to push the Bible back into the school? That's the same thing.
And religion in itself is forbidden in schools. You're not allowed to teach religion in schools, so why?
Well, in the United States, you can't. Separation of church and state, so you can't bring any kind of faith in the public school system. Public school, not private school. That's different.
Why should Satanism be any more of an exception than even other religions? Even Catholic religion or Christianity. None of
Catholicism and Christianity. That's a specific under the Atlanta.
those religions are allowed to be taught in schools unless maybe based on a club. Religions are Catholic religion or Christian. They're trying to put religion into schools. And religion in itself is forbidden in schools. You're not allowed to teach religion in schools. So why should Satanism be any more of an exception than even other religions? Even Catholic religion or Christianity, none of those religions are allowed to be taught in schools unless maybe based on a club.
Based on a club. Well, the thing is, okay,
And they did have a Satanism club.
which they have the right to. If there's a club that has a specific faith at the school, they can have it. What's the issue? You don't like it because of whatever viewpoint you have? Woe is you.
They were trying to teach these kids with all these coloring books how Baphomet loves you.
Baphomet for Dummies. It's a symbol of many symbolic things put into one. Here's one. Baphomet's head, the goat, represents the sign of Capricorn. The 10th house, the highest point where everybody can see you. 12 o'clock noon, right above your head. That's Capricorn. Capricorn is also the most supreme sign. You know why? Because in Capricorn, there's a constellation within a or nakshatra called Ashwini. No, not Ashwini. Just had it lost. But it has within the sign, and also the previous sign Sagittarius, it has the nakshatra point called Abhijit, the star of victory. And it also has the most nakshatras or constellations within the sign. Capricorn has a total of 4. Uttarashada, Abhijit, Sadavan, and Dhanishta. 4. No other sign except Sagittarius has 4. But since also Sadavan is owned by Lord Vishnu, the Great Preserver, that gives it the most power. It's the highest point in the sky. Capricorn is the supreme. Is your status and standing in society. That's what the head is. Capricorn is also the sign originally seen as the crocodile, the opportunist.
All this crap, and I was just like, no! This is unbelievable. And there was even a mother in the documentary that was giving her peace of mind, and I understood where she felt, and I actually commended her for it. Her anger, I understand. I would be just as furious. Honestly, what you should be more furious at is the school.
Why? They're holding a club that was approved by the school board. So if you're not going to allow them to have their own club about faith, okay, pay me the biblical book. Don't be hating because of somebody's faith and you don't like it.
The principle to allow Satanism to be taught in school.
Having a club doesn't mean you're teaching it. No.
So that's the first person you want to talk to?
You wouldn't talk to the principal, you would actually talk to the school district. You know, like the superintendent.
Not the people doing the club.
You kind of would talk to them as well.
And putting it together. It's the person who allowed it in the school to begin with.
Superintendent and also the principal. But mainly superintendent.
Which is the principal and school board. I found it really funny though in the beginning, I will admit, the guy had like his cape on and the horns and shit. It just looks so damn stupid.
You know what else looks pretty stupid? Calling a divine a pimp. And, you know, you're mocking the faith. Now I can't take that seriously.
I'm not gonna lie, it looks so dumb.
Wow, that makeup is starting to come off bad.
Thought, how is he? I'm not gonna lie, it looks so dumb. I thought, how does he even have a girlfriend?
I'm sorry.
I just thought it was so weird. Like, when is he gonna go? Trick or treating? I'm sorry. It's just when you dress like that.
So you're making fun of somebody's faith and they're dressing up to actually, respect their faith? Okay.
It makes it very hard for anyone to take you serious.
Really? So I guess it's hard for you to take anybody serious when you do this.
I don't know. I just thought it was so weird. Like, when is he gonna go trick or treating? I'm sorry. It's just when you dress like that, it makes it very hard for anyone to take you serious. And that's where even demons, and this is where I go into the demonology board part. Demons find that shit hilarious.
Really? You don't know them. You don't have a right to speak on their behalf.
They make fun of Satanists all
Can we play that one more time? I thought I heard something probably really stupid. Can you say that again?
part. Demons find that shit hilarious. They make fun of Satanists all
No. No.
the time.
Really? Wow. Hold on, I gotta find where my brain cells went. They jumped ship.
Satanists are not taken seriously at all.
Satanists are not taken seriously at all by the Lieutenant Divines. Really? How do you know that? And furthermore, I don't think you have the right to actually speak on their behalf. At all.
By demons or even Baphomet or
Baphomet's a symbolic thing. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, also I'm coming from a viewpoint that I've gone down the path myself, completely open to it. I learned a lot. I did have some harsh lessons be hit upside the head to me. It is what it is. But if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now, so. And I was dismissed by Satanas, so. He even said it wasn't my path, so. Still.
Satanists with, Satan himself.
What?
Satanists are not taken seriously at all by demons or even Baphomet or Satanists with, Satan himself.
So you mean Satanism isn't taken seriously by their own believers? Really? Wow. And I thought Adam was stupid. And you're saying Satanas doesn't take his own people seriously? Really? Wow. Fail. I'm where I am, where I need to be. Well, I could be in a better spot, to be honest. But that's a desired place. But I mean, I am where I'm at, so well.
There are many Satanists that do worship a literal Satan. And those are the ones you really want to be worried about.
Really? Because guess what? One of them, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have my own book. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have this YouTube channel. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have made the few $100s I made by monetization without her. So, oh, and by the way, she has been an absolute joy to talk with and have the pleasure of meeting and still have a close connection with. Yes, is Kendra. So.
But then again, all Satanists can be dangerous.
Last I checked, Kendra has never done anything malefic towards me. Mary hasn't done anything malefic towards me. And with his Rose hasn't done anything malefic towards me. Who else I can think of that I'm still connected to that's of Satanism that I know? I'm trying to think. I might be forgetting a few, but those are the three that I know the most well. Not like Kendra I know well, Amethyst I know well, and Mary I haven't really talked to one-on-one, but I mean I really look up to her and am actually inspired by her. I mean, I love listening to her videos. And she's just an inspiration because she has gone through a lot of crap. And a lot of incidents where it's kind of rude. Like she's even said, like how when she was younger, she used to be walking and people were doing this to her. Like, really? You're gonna be doing signs like that? That's rude. And didn't your mother ever teach you it's not polite to, make signs at people? Rude. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, it's just unnecessary. If you don't have anything nice to say, and if you don't like how somebody else is doing their own thing, and it's not even harming you at all, zip it, stick it, and piss it.
And can be a threat. But here is where I'm very careful on saying this. So, if you're a Satanist,
I'm not a Satanist, but I was once on the path, and I still interact with it. But the thing is this: just like with any other, like with another group of people, I don't take too kindly with people taking a swing at people that I have a closeness with.
and I know you're automatically going to get upset when I say that. Here's the first thing I want to say. That's not saying because you believe that you're a threat to society. That's not what I'm saying.
But you're still saying they're a threat. Really? That's what you just said.
What I'm saying is this, is a lot of Satanists go into Satanism, and this is a message to anyone who's a Satanist. A lot of Satanists go into Satanism thinking that it's a metaphorical trade, that it's something that is it's representing ideas, but not a literal sense of an entity. That's the problem. That brainwashing, idealistic idea that is not true is what makes Satanism so dangerous.
No. It makes it. It's more dangerous than that, what she's claiming? The stereotypical BS that's still being thrown around because somebody's faith is not. It's a stereotype that Hollywood still uses, and it's getting kind of old. Like, the devil made me do it. Nope, you were an idiot and you carried it out.
Because when you start believing that it doesn't exist, but you still worship it,
If you don't acknowledge something exists and then you give it recognition, how can you not acknowledge something but still give it recognition? Mm-hmm. Exactly. How can you not recognize something but still give it worship? If something doesn't exist, you don't acknowledge it. It doesn't exist. Da-ba-da.
that makes you even more of an easier target to be manipulated and become a puppet.
I didn't know, all that makes you get your G-string pulled.
Because when you think they're not real, but you still like the idea of it being real,
So you're now pretty much telling somebody's belief system that it's invalid. Okay.
like a fan club idea,
Satanism's not a fan club, dear.
or even as a literal sense of the word of the entity itself. What you are becoming is a program of your environment, and a lot of the time Satanists don't recognize it until it's too late.
Hmm.
There are so many cases where I've even seen it online. I've read newspapers, articles.
What does writing newspapers and articles have to do anything about this? Hmm. Oh, really? Well, look at you, playing with a stereotype. No, no, honey. You might want to sit down before something, an anvil falls on your head.
Kill babies.
I'm going to play that one more time because that's disgusting.
There are many Satanists that have actually murdered people, killed babies, sacrificed women and children.
Really? Really? It's like somebody's playing along with the stereotype. Ah. Wow. If you remember the video I talked about saying, like, about clarifying the left-handed path and spelling BS about it, there was a part that I said, anybody that thinks like that is psychologically ill. What good is it gonna do to take somebody's child, kill them for their own gain? What are they gonna gain from killing that child? Nothing. Besides Satanas and all of them that are on the left, they are like, why? Why'd you take this life from him? Why'd you take this life from the child? That's not going to bring any good to you or us. Why? No. Point blank. You think they're going to be giving praise? Exactly. Think you're going to be giving praise for taking a life, a newborn life at that. That's not going to happen. They're going to be appalled by it. Just figure right there.
Even men, to
Even men.
the point where they even castrated men.
How do you know? Were you there? How else would you know all this took place? You must have been there, right? You must have been there, right? So, guilty by association. Whoops.
To the point where they kidnap people's babies and
Wow. Isn't this just, fake?
burn them at the stake.
That's actually, that hasn't happened in a long time. In fact, that's a crime against humanity.
Satanism is more dangerous than any religion in the world.
Wrongo. Which religion caused the most deaths in the world? Abrahamic. Which faith destroyed the most history, destroyed the most knowledge, the most intelligence in the world? Abrahamic. Twithead.
But
No buts. You said what you said, so stick it, lick it, and piss it. Deal with it.
at the same time,
Same time. Exactly how she did it.
are other religions that I'm not going to say on here
That there are other religions that I'm not going to say on here. Yeah, because you'd be discrediting yourself.
that are even more dangerous.
Like, oh, I wonder which one. I wonder which one.
Than Satanism.
Hmm.
But the reason why Satanism is so high.
No, it actually should be so low because stereotypes you're still pushing.
It's not because immediately they're evil and you should stay away. It's not
They're not evil. In fact, evil is no.
not like that.
Then how come you just called them what you just did?
A lot of Satanists are very kind people.
Wait a minute. Can you make up your mind? Jeez, she's like doing the hokey pokey again. We like the Satanism. We don't like the Satanism. We like the Satanism, and now we're gonna, now we're gonna start contradicting.
That's the problem.
They are kind people. I know 3 of them.
That is the problem. A lot of Satanists understand the idea of Satanism in their mentality.
That's the point. Comes down to the individual. Huh?
Okay, this is where I'm going to get a little abrupt.
Bruh.
Satanism is not kind.
No. Another stereotype besides. How do you know it's not kind? Have you actually practiced it or even given it a chance? You haven't. Mm-hmm.
True Satanism is not kind.
That's not for you to say.
True Satanists are not kind.
You're wrong. Kendra's kind. Intelligent. In fact, I believe she has a master's degree, I believe, and other credentials. And yeah, I've enjoyed talking to her. Same with Claudia. They are kind. And when you actually talk to them like a person, you'd be quite surprised that, wow, these people are very intelligent and they're just like everybody else. Hospitable.
And I'm going to be forward about that. I have met souls in hell. There was one couple that I met in hell, and they were Satanists.
Stereotype.
They had involved their children in Satanism.
So what? They're raising their kids their own way.
And what this father of this family told me is he thought it was a good idea, and he killed himself and all his family.
Just because the guy murdered his family and himself doesn't make him a Satanist. No.
I'm not
Yeah.
entirely sure to remember exactly how they died, but I believe that's what it was. Because there's so many things and so many people that I met in hell. In that experience, that's a family I'll never forget. Ever. They are saved now.
No.
They were rescued. I begged Archangel Michael to get them out.
She's being fed this information, and she's just coming up with it off the top of her head.
Angels work very hard to work together to get humans out.
Humans, like the body of a human, doesn't go down there.
The problem is there are so many going in all the fucking time.
How do you know there's so many going in all the time?
And it's very hard to get out. It's extremely hard.
How do you know? Have you pulled one out? Have you tried it? Have you done it? You're not a pigeon man, or are you? Dum dum dum.
And it pains me to say this because I saw and I listened to this father, and he even said that he regretted everything about putting his children involved in Satanism. He really thought Satanism was positive.
It is. When you actually not allow the BS to blind you.
He really thought all the lies, all the betrayal, all the misideas.
The betrayal? What betrayal? Because the thing is, the belief that they have is to empower the self to live the self in the most best way possible for the individual. Saying that your well-being and your sense of fulfillment and enjoyment is a lie. That's kind of saying that your happiness is invalid. That's not good.
Of Satanism. Satanism is the devil's religion.
Let's see here, devil. The devil figure is actually a mixture of an Ifrit and a Satyr. Pan.
Satanism is designed specifically to orchestrate the metaphysical ideas.
You're incorrect, woman. Silence.
To make you believe it's not a literal
Mm-hmm.
That's the idea of why Satanism is so dangerous.
No. Again with the stereotype. It's getting old.
Because Satanism teaches people that it's not a real entity.
One way. Just one little bit of it.
We are following ideas
You're talking about one way.
and ideologies and philosophies and levels of lifestyle
Levels of lifestyle.
and belief systems of our own based on, what you do to me, I do to you.
No, it's not tit for tat.
They still say, even in the Satanism book that I have back there for study, it still says,
The Satanism book back there for study.
even by Anton LaVey, that it's not meant to do harm to people. In hell, in the world of Satan, in the world of Baphomet,
World of Baphomet, a symbol. Okay.
who does exist,
As a symbol,
that I've met,
you met a symbolic figure. Okay.
they do harm people.
Just like what you're doing. And they don't intentionally harm people in acts of being malefic.
Without apologies.
Without apologies, huh? Really? Somebody is psychologically ill.
So want to see documentaries that say that Satanism is misunderstood religion?
It is a religion and it is misunderstood, and you're disrespecting it and you're calling it all these malefic things. Then you turn around and say, oh, they're not bad people. It's like, can you make up your mind? Gosh. It's like you're too flippity floppity. No, not grounded.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
You have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about yourself, huh? Talking about yourself, huh, honey? Stop talking about yourself. Nobody gives a bloody heck about what you have to feel. And you do not know what you're talking about, so stop talking about yourself. Yep.
And I'll say that every day for the rest of my existence.
You don't know what you're talking about? Splendid.
And when you see demons for real, when you see the reality of the harsh, cruel things they do to children,
Somebody is being psychologically ill. Somebody get, the 72-hour hold people ready.
to babies,
Somebody get the 72-hour thing again. Wait, what's your name? Oh, Dolly! Alrighty, Dolly. See you later then. They don't do anything to babies, by the way.
in hell,
How do you know they do them in hell?
to women,
No.
you never
Hmm.
You never want to worship that again.
Oh, it's funny because at this very moment she's actually being blinded by something, and I can see it clear as day.
Because those are the ideologies they practice.
You're full of crap. No. No, you're full of crap. No.
In hell, it's real.
Mm-hmm. And I'm straight.
Been there. In hell,
Mm-hmm.
they torture children.
Yeah, stop saying the same thing over and over again because it's a bunch of BS. Why you always lying? Lying.
So many levels that I cannot go to sleep at night thinking about it.
Liar.
When I was there,
When I was there. Literally, she did that.
I'll never forget the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And they thought that it was okay. They thought it was normal. Because mommy and daddy worshipped it too.
No.
That's exactly what Satan wants.
No. You can't speak for him because you don't even go down the faith and give it a chance. Zip it, lock it, piss it.
Because children are the purest level of innocence.
I wonder where you got that from. Bible? Which, by the way, you said it's not all completely true. You can't pick and choose, Cupcake.
They're so easy to be manipulated. All you have to do is recruit them through their parents. So when I see children in the documentary that are wearing Satanism and Baphomet shirts,
Just because it has a pentagram on it, or no, a pentacle on it, doesn't mean it's that.
it's utterly disgusting.
You know what else is disgusting? Oh, the BS coming out of the mouth.
But it's heartbreaking
Yeah, it's heartbreaking to have somebody still going along with the BS.
because they have no idea
Just like you, hon.
how evil that is.
Just like you, hon.
No clue.
Mm-hmm. Besides, her fake is not even real emotions.
I am not a religious zealot.
You just were. You just were.
Not even at all.
You just were.
And I don't hate anyone
Sure.
who worships Satanism like
You just were. Calling it all these malefic, baneful, and uncalled for things. Make up your mind.
I said. I almost dated a man who was a
That has nothing to do with it.
Satanist because I liked him because he was kind.
That has nothing to do with it. Just because somebody's nice to you and you wanted to date them, doesn't mean you can justify calling them all these horrible things you just did.
But this is the biggest mistake, the biggest lie.
Well, it's such a coming out of your mouth.
It's not kind.
God forbid. Here, honey, here's a new tampon for you. Got it for you ready. Let me know when you got that fixed. Because, wow. It's like she's throwing a temper tantrum trying to explain this.
That's the problem, is people that are worshiping Satanism think that they are all a family.
No. You can't speak for them. Because you never went down the faith and actually gave it a chance. You're going with the stereotype.
They're all going to be good to each other and to the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
No!
You're not helping any other way either.
It's the exact opposite.
Just like you.
It's control, power, manipulation, ego,
That's funny. She's now talking about the Abrahamic faiths at once.
pain,
Yep, Abrahamic.
suffering,
Abrahamic.
hell,
Abrahamic.
on a deeper level than you could ever imagine in a billion zillion years. I've been there.
Wow, how'd you get out? Because yeah, they're trying to find you and bring you back. Yeah, you.
Unapologetically, I say that. Without apology.
Not gonna regret that either.
I've been there.
I've been there.
And it's still a miracle to me sometimes that I didn't kill myself after it.
Because it didn't happen. And looking right at it, no. Hi. Yeah. And I'm sorry, my live stream didn't resume, Michael. I apologize for that, but still, yeah, it's the same one.
And as a demonologist,
If you're a demonologist, oh, that has nothing to do with it.
as a mother,
A mother has nothing to do with it either.
knowing that reality on the other side is so unbelievably horrifying. But that's why it's important we talk about this of why this documentary is bullshit.
I'm gonna replay that. Let me just do this.
Unbelievably horrifying. But that's why it's important we talk about this of why this documentary is bullshit. And I say it without apologies.
Okay. This?
It's not kind. It's not misunderstood.
Just like you?
It's not okay.
Just like you?
In fact, in the documentary, one of the leading priestess who ended up losing her position, she ended up saying during their service, putting fucking pig heads on stakes.
They don't do that, hon. This isn't Silent Hill. And this isn't Lord of the Flies.
Literally.
No.
With fire.
No. Now you're having mania.
And all kinds of shit going on.
Nice mania, honey.
And she sat there and said that she was going to assassinate the president.
Honey. Yeah, can somebody please, call the 72-hour hold? I think we got a live one here.
She lost her position in Satanism. Why? Because that was something they don't want to talk about.
Because they don't.
But here's the reality, though. That is Satanism at its prime.
No, it's not, honey. And I think you're having mania.
That's what Satanism is.
No, it's not.
True Satanism is based on the demonology aspect.
No, it's not. Some Satanism doesn't have anything to do with demonology. Some people don't practice or even study demonology in Satanism. Some don't. BS.
To the traits of dehumanizing humanity as itself.
You just said a bunch of word salad, huh?
Demons do not think like humans.
You don't say.
They don't think like humans.
You don't say twice.
They are not thinking like you. They are not us.
You don't say triple time.
They are dehumanized. That's why are they dehumans? That's why are
Dehumans? You know why they're called that? It's because some old geezer in a suit, in a uniform covered in bling, was like, oh, no, 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 you're not of God, so you must go. By somebody else's view.
they are called demons because they are descended entities.
No. Demons are Asuras, and Asuras are people. Awkward.
And you have angels.
Which are tyrannical.
Angels that are ascended
Nope, they're tyrannical.
entities past the dogma.
They're tyrannical.
Past the religion.
Tyrannical.
They are all about love.
No, they're not. You don't go by what they do, they're ordered to slaughter you.
And they exist and they're beautiful.
Let's see. Where'd it go? Okay, here we go. Upon Lilith's departure, Yahweh was embarrassed and humiliated once again, and Adam was disappointed in turn of the events. Yahweh then put Adam to sleep and formed Eve from Adam's rib. Once acquainted, Yahweh went to be alone and reflected on his actions. It was then he became more and more infuriated, to the point of commanding some of his angelic order to hunt down Lilith and bring her back by any means. When an angelic is given an order by Yahweh, they do it no matter what it is. She looked down at her newest born child, asleep peacefully. Looking upward only a second later, Yahweh's angels flocked in and landed opposing her and her children. Her children, looking at curiosity at all of them. They looked and were intrigued. One of the angels yelled at her, Lord Yahweh demands you return unto him in Eden, Lilith. We seek to help you return. Lilith snapped, identical to a hiss of a cat. Tell that vile fiend I will not, nor will I ever. Leave me and my children at peace. The angels, without any hesitation or thought, drew their weapons and began killing each of her children. Their screams and cries being killed, and not one caused their killers to halt. One of them noticed her holding one of her children in hand. With this sight, he swiftly flew, possessed by a murderous-driven impulse. He barbarically downward thrusted his blade into the child's head. The child's eyes opened, and not a sound emitted from its now lifeless open mouth, and the eyes stared into Lilith's. And now will you comply? Spoke the angel who impaled the child in her arms. She looked into his eyes, like she did Yahweh's, and spoke, I will not, nor will I ever return to that vile fiend. They're not beautiful.
And that's why I have no fear, even in this moment, because I know I'm safe.
That's odd. You said that, Satanism and people that practice the faith kill children. What about that one? The angelics killed Lilith's children. Still murder children. Oh.
I know my daughter's safe, and I know my purpose in this world is to talk about this bullshit right here.
No.
To say why you should never believe that crap.
Oh, wow. Here's her next tampon.
Being real.
Nope, being fake and stereotypical.
Being candid.
Okay?
Being authentic
Fake.
as much as possible.
You're fake.
To tell you, don't
Fake.
ever believe that
Fake.
bullshit for a second.
Fake.
Demons lie
No. Yahweh lies.
to make it sound good.
No.
So that way these
Oh, by the way, not all demons are of Satanas and Lucifers, or the left. Not all of them are like that.
can catch you when you're least expecting it.
No. They do that to teach you to keep yourself protected.
And literally pull you in like a fish
Oh, that's fishy.
on a rail.
Wow, even she's starting to smell fishy.
On
On a rail. Wow, I didn't know that, demons also have you do skateboard tricks going up a half pipe. Okay.
the hook.
Wow, now she's talking about hookers. Okay.
They're fishing for people. And so when they finally get you and they start working with you and you start working with them and you start worshiping them, you start doing your altars and shit, they start implementing their thoughts and when you open your mind up to
No. Lies.
Satanism,
Lies.
you are leaving your aura exposed
No, you're not.
for manipulation.
You're leaving your aura exposed from manipulation. So pretty much you're saying you're leaving your aura exposed from not being...
Dehumanization.
No.
That's what you're doing.
No, you're not.
You are taking on the second aura, the second body
No.
of demons.
No, you're not.
You're not being yourself anymore.
Liar.
You lose a sense of your reality.
That's what happens when you take a mind-altering substance.
You lose a sense of your justice.
No.
You lose a sense of consciousness.
No.
Understanding.
No. In fact, you gain more.
People have asked me, they've always felt that they were meant for Satan.
That's their choice, and they have the right to say that. And they have the right to choose their faith. You don't like it? Woe is you. Deal with it.
They don't know why.
It's for them. If they feel that they need to go towards it, let them. They are going to what they're being called to. Let them. You don't like it? I mean, there's a lot of things I don't like about people in other faiths that are being, tormented, suffered, and, causing a lot of strife. I don't like it either. But I have no choice but to deal with it.
I've looked into this deeply with angels and
Nope, that's already right then and there saying that it's not biased. It's completely full of it. It's not neutral. It's full of bias.
I've spoken deeply with many other ascended beings.
Bullshit.
And the truth is,
Why you keep lying?
that's what demons, that's what devils, that's what Satan wants you to believe.
No.
But there are very few people that are born evil. Such as mass murderers, serial killers, rapists, people that have done the worst kinds of crimes you could ever think of. Those are typically the people through history, like Hitler and many others, that were born true Satanists.
No. Stick it and piss it. Actually, Hitler was actually a Christian.
Even though he didn't worship Satanism, Hitler as an example,
Satanism worship Satanism. Worship of faith? And not the... No.
he did all the things Satan wanted him to do.
He wasn't a Satanist.
Cleanse humanity.
He's not a Satanist.
Kill it all. That's what he wanted.
Satanas doesn't want people to end other people's lives like that. No.
So that way they could get more power
No. Wrongo.
through humans.
Wrongo.
They were living through Hitler
Mm-mm.
and all of his men working for him.
Mm-mm.
I know that
He was Jewish, yeah, but still. But it still had that Abrahamic thing attached to it.
says living through Hitler and all of his men working for him. I know this because I met Hitler.
No.
And I talk about that in more experiences of Hitler and Anton LaVey. I've met Anton.
No, you haven't. You met Anton? He must be thinking, wow. No.
He's extremely evil as well.
No. In fact, fun fact, hold on. Let me help you with that. Believe it or not, Anton LaVey actually had Saturn in Abhijit Nakshatra, the Nakshatra of victory. Saturn. And when Saturn gets activated in Abhijit, when you give to society something of value, Saturn has your efforts become a legacy in a new world order. That's what happened.
Well, and even as a Satanist, he does work with Satan,
That's not for you to say.
and he tried to get me to work with him, and I told him, fuck off.
Oh, aren't you just tough? Full of crap.
because it's never going to happen.
Yeah, and I don't think he would want you anywhere near him anyway, because you think, huh, you don't enjoy your life.
But even in those experiences, they tormented me
Lies.
on so many levels
Mm-mm.
that I'll never forget.
Good, because now you're not going to do that crap again. Oh, wait, you are still.
But if you are interested in those stories of my experiences as a psychic medium,
Mm-mm.
as a demonologist,
You keep saying the same titles over and over again.
you can look that up in my book, Demon Dealer.
No, you don't deal demons like cards or other things.
But I also have hoodies of and sweaters of and shirts of in my store. You can also look at that in my website at lastweekchicken.com if you're interested. This documentary is so implemented with the idea to make humans believe that Satan is a misunderstood being.
He is, and you're still spreading BS about him. Till you actually experience him in a way that's accepting and neutral and having him approach you how he is, as he is, you don't have a right to say anything.
That it's all good, it's not evil.
It is when you actually come at it in a point that's neutral and open. This isn't.
I'm going to tell you this, is that that documentary broke my heart
Boo!
when I saw the leading man who was in charge of the documentary, who was talking about it, the lead person, the co-founder, the person who constructed the whole thing about the Satanic Temple.
Do you know who that is? No.
I know in his heart, he just wants to be accepted
You don't know that, no.
as a different person. And I also
No.
spoke to him, and I saw him.
Then how come you don't know his name? If you spoke to him, you would know his name.
Demons with him on the astral realm, and I asked him, "Do you realize that these demons have a hold on you? Do you realize that they are evil?"
Mm-mm.
What people don't understand is that people that are Satanists will get so hypnotized
No.
by these beautiful thoughts and ideas, and they will only basically be shown certain things, but they won't be shown the reality of demons in the whole core. And when you suddenly jump back and you see the reality, it freaks you out. And I did that to him.
You don't have a right to do that, hon. You do not have the right to actually force someone out of belief system like that. Disgusting.
That with my guides, and I made him see the reality of demons. And I said, "This is what you are trying to worship right now. This is
In a second.
what you're trying to show children." And I tried.
No, you didn't. You did nothing like that.
To talk to him.
You did nothing like that.
I really did.
No, you didn't.
But he was so horrified.
No, he wasn't. Because you never spoke to him. You don't even know his name.
He really was. He felt so upset.
You never did because you don't even know his name. You never did.
Now, he will never remember this
Well, yeah, because it never happened.
experience. I do not believe he ever will.
Because it never happened.
And the reason why is because these
It never happened.
demons, once they have a hold on your consciousness,
That never happened.
they can manipulate your level of memory.
But how can that be if he's already dead?
Most demonologists will never know that.
No.
Most psychic mediums don't know that.
Because it's a lie.
Most light workers do not know that.
Because it's a lie.
Almost all Satanists don't know that.
You don't have a right to speak by that faith anymore. So stick it, lick it, piss it.
And the reason why is because they are so programmed to believe this is a safe idea.
That's for not you to say. You don't have any right to say so.
Because they're listening to what this entity's telling them in their mind, thinking all these pretty things about them.
No.
Even if you are a Satanist, you only wish to practice the philosophies
You don't have a right to tell people how to practice their faith, hon. Stick it, lick it, and piss it.
of Satanism, which is to be kind, not commit harm.
You don't know. Don't even try and take somebody's faith and then throw it back in their face saying how it's supposed to be done. You don't have a right to do that, honey. No.
Live for yourself, and why? The question I ask you: why worship that religion if those are the only philosophies you want to go by?
Why are you putting down somebody's faith that isn't like exactly how you said it is? And spreading lies and BS about it. The kind of stereotype that actually is like saying, you know, I think we need to have a 72-hour help put into place because something's not right. Let's get her help.
If that's the only ideology you want to live by,
Let's play that ideology thing one more time. Let me go back.
which is to be kind, not commit harm, live for yourself, then why? The question I ask you: why worship that religion if those are the only philosophies you want to go by?
Okay, let's play
If
those.
that's the
Let's play those philosophies one more time.
practice, the philosophies of Satanism,
According to her, these are the philosophies. Let's play it one more time.
which is to be kind, not commit harm, live for yourself, then why? The question I ask you: why worship that religion if those are the only philosophies you want to go by?
Be kind. Why do you want to live like that and be kind and
Why commit harm, live for yourself,
which is to be kind? Why do you not? Why live by being kind? Why live not committing harm? Why live to not? Why live in a way to live for yourself? Why? Because it's not malefic, and it's actually hospitable and humanized and not barbaric. Why live like that? Good question. Why wouldn't you want to live like that in a way that's peaceful? Oh wait, because it doesn't fit the stereotype.
then why the only philosophies you want to go by?
Why only those philosophies? Because it actually makes sense.
If that's the only ideology you want to live by, then stop worshiping Satanism.
But you just said that's how the philosophy of them is. So stop believing it. That philosophy that's actually beneficial and peaceful. Word salad.
And just live by those philosophies.
No, you can't. You can't just pull it out of your tush like that.
Live by that lifestyle.
Which you can't if you're not doing it.
Live by that love that you believe is needed in the world. And if you believe in love at all, you're not a true Satanist.
Wow, that was stupid.
I'm sorry, but that's the reality.
No, it's not. Full of crap.
Because once you die and you go to the other side and you see demons, they don't believe in love. They
How do you know that? You're not one of them. You can't speak for them.
believe in hierarchy, authority, power, greed, and control.
Jeez, Yahweh on all of them.
That's all they focus on.
Why you always BSing?
And they have you with all that leverage,
Nice try.
with all that power.
Mm-hmm.
The second you die, you're fucked.
No. Mm-mm.
And you don't get a choice to get out of it.
Mm-mm. You actually do. Believe it or not, you can actually decide where your afterlife is. You can choose it. You just gotta say what it is.
Unless you are really, really, really lucky
No.
to have help from an angel
No. They won't give a crap.
or another positive benevolent
Nope. Stereotype.
entity. Pressured into worshiping Satan. Listen to your heart.
Do what you do as you deem fit, because it's your choice, not hers.
Listen to your gut.
Do what you deem fit.
Don't do it.
Do what you deem fit.
Always ask for benevolent
Do what you deem fit.
guidance from loving beings
Do what you deem fit, because it's your choice.
to guide you to what is the real, authentic truth of what is more important. As I have always said, if you believe in love,
Do what you deem fit.
you do not belong in Satanism. Because Satanism is not a loving religion.
How do you know that? Oh, wait a minute, you don't, because you're going by stereotype. Fake.
It has nothing to do with love.
Liar.
I don't care what the books say.
Then you don't have a right to speak about it, honey, so stick it.
I don't care what you believe
Stick it.
Satanism is.
You don't even know what it is either.
When you listen to demons,
You actually, again, no.
when you go to hell,
Oh, wow. Talk about being a he who farts.
there is no love.
Notice me. I know what I'm talking about. I am a guru. Typical he who font. Oh, wow. It's stunned her. Oh, no wonder. Oh, whoops, no wonder.
If you have any thoughts, questions, concerns, or ideas, you can leave your comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and hit that bell button so you can get notified of new videos I upload every week. But again, I do not hate anyone that follows Satanism.
But you just completely tore it down. And you just completely degraded it. I'm sorry. Apology not accepted. In fact, it's kind of disgusting that you had to go for 40 minutes for this crap. Completely unacceptable. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Anyway. But anyway, so really that was the video, and no. It's just not accurate, and it's stereotypical. Like, no. But anyway, so that's pretty much really all the But anyway, so really that was the video. Don't get me wrong, it's like kind of sad, honestly. That people are still resorting to do that. But anyway. So I will stay live for a little bit longer, if anybody deems fit for that. And yeah, we'll just float around a little bit.
So I popped one out. Want to take one? You don't need any water.
I don't know what you've been told, I don't know what you've been saying, so enough of that. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it open for any questions of any kind or what have you. So. But yeah, it's just so upsetting that you know, this still is going on. Actually, when was this thing made? Oh, it was made in 2020. Oh well. Yeah. What do you want? What's your question, Kara? Whoop. Let me check one thing. I'm still here, I promise. Okay. Don't know what that was, but just wanted to take a look. what the journey is like ahead. First off, we have Four of Pentacles. It's going to require a lot of observance and making sure that nobody takes advantage of your practice, and to actually not have someone be like a leech to you. And being blinded and blindsided by something that's deceiving you about it. And actually being guided in a false light. So don't let anyone guide you in a way that they actually start feeding off of you and actually taking advantage of you in your whole faith and practice altogether, or misdirecting you off the wrong way. Because they're going to be like narcissistic about it. And actually giving you a false sense of direction. And then you're going to be having the guilt. Because this is a fallen angel. Like this is a statue of a fallen angel on the ground. Broken and burning. So be careful of that. Stand up for you and stick up for you. And don't let anybody take that from you. 3, 4 suggested courses of action. Idea 1. Emperor. Take full control and don't give a rat's tushy about whatever you're choosing to do. And actually standing firm with it. You're gonna gotta be a little bit feisty and pushy. Knight of Wands, going Hong Kong Fooey with full passion and energy towards it. Not giving a damn, burning everything in sight. Even if you have to walk alone. In the cold, and wounded. That's all you really take full control, even if you're all alone and hurt, still let your inner flame guide you. There's the Wheel of Fate. Fill out of the deck. That's when things progress. Take full control, don't give a damn, even if it hurts you. And Temperance. Combining 2 beliefs into one. Which will lead to a Knight of Cups. Being able to give your spirituality the swiftness it needs to move forward. So don't be thinking. Just move. 6 of Swords. Just move on ahead. And that's what's really just. Because you don't want to end up like that. Death. At least that's what I got. Move forward and question everything. Anyway, that's really what I got. So, other than that, I'm going to go to sleep because I have work in the morning, and we'll continue from there. I'll have to see you guys later.